Only a few days had passed since Sir Topham Hatt had punished Henry for being vain, and Sir Topham Hatt had divided Henry's work amongst his remaining engines. One day Sir Topham Hatt called all his engines to the sheds. As you all know, Henry is, indisposed. Thomas chuckled. Oh, which Henry? You mean Henry as in the sad story of Henry? Or Henry, my driver's name? Because if you're talking about the sad story of Henry, I have a nursery rhyme I'd like to dedicate to him. Once an engine attached to a train was afraid of a few drops of rain. It ran into a tunnel and squeaked through its funnel and never came out again. All of the engines laughed, especially Winston, the engine that had tried to push Henry out of the tunnel. "Oh, Thomas," chuckled Winston once he caught his breath. "Where do you come up with these? You are a comedic genius." "Yes, Thomas, very funny," said Sir Topham Hatt, who was also laughing. "I came to tell you that I have purchased 3 new engines to help out with this railway. I have found them in an engine workshop. I bought them from an engine workshop on the LNER. Do you have any engines for sale?" I asked the foreman. He looked confused for some reason. Yes? Right this way, sir. How about these 3 engines? They are some of our newest arrivals. Do they have names, and are they expensive?" Names? No. Numbers? Yes. Experimental? Yes. The red one is one of the LNER A1 prototypes. Well, actually, LNER A1 and an LMS Stanier hybrid. Some greedy people heard about hybrid engines and decided to try it on their own. But I'm not sure if all experiments went right. But he is very strong and very reliable. This one is practically the same thing as the red one. He's also one of the LNER A1 hybrid prototypes. Although I am sure that all the experiments went right, he is a lot faster, bigger than the red one. Well, technically they're both the same size, but you know what I mean. And finally, this one right here is not a hybrid, but he is a prototype. First of his class. He is in LNER B12. He was being the first of his class. He was the pride of the line on his railway, being the first B12 to run it. The red one's number slips my mind at the moment, so I'll have to look in his files. But the 2 blue ones, the B12 is 98462, and the other blue one's number is 87546. So, any more questions, sir? I think I will take the red, blue, and blue. Phew. Thank goodness I wasn't chosen. I wouldn't want to work alongside those 3 troublesome trio. The engines either looked worried, confused, or doubtful. Are you alright, Edward? Asked Winston. You're doing your worried face. Edward and Winston had been friends for a long time, and each one could tell how the other one was feeling. They would do a face called the anxious face. Yeah, I'm alright, sighed Edward. Something just seems off-ish about these engines. I just hope that they're useful and that they're not overconfident or proud that they're prototypes. When are these fools gonna let me out of the tunnel? Huh? I've never heard that whistle here before. What in the world was that? A few days later, when the new engines arrived, they were greeted warmly by Edward, Thomas, and Winston. Despite their initial suspicion, they still wanted to make the new engines feel welcome. Engines and engines, said Sir Topham Hatt. Thomas, Edward, Winston. Meet 98462, 87546, and 76624. What a true privilege it is to meet you, oiled 98462. Yes, it really is a pleasure, bubbled 87546. 76624 said nothing. He was at the back, admiring his red paint. My, nothing could look better than me. Alright, said Sir Topham Hatt. Edward, would you show these engines where they're supposed to be? Yes, sir, puffed Edward. Alright then, you three, follow me, and I'll show you to the big station. Yes. Of course. We wouldn't want to keep the passengers waiting.